Hi and welcome to day 21 of the 30-day Lyceum Foundation series. Today we're looking at a G minor 7. Now this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge because we're now going to be barring 4 strings. Okay, so it's going to be with our first finger, and we're going to be barring from the D string all the way down to the E string at the 3rd fret. Okay? And we have the root on the bottom again, which is a little bit unorthodox with in difference to the other chords that we have been playing. We've now got a root on the bottom, okay, which still makes it a G minor 7. Okay, so we play it as so. We don't play the E or the A, but we start with our first finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, and we've got our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, of the G string, sorry, got our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and likewise on the E string. Okay, this is a beautiful chord, which we can do a tremendous amount with. Okay, and the scale exercise that we're going to be playing with the G minor 7 is as follows. And I want you calling out the notes as well. So we've got G, A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, D sharp, D, C, A sharp, A, G. The reason I'm showing you these chords, they will all start to fall in place when we get to that last week, because I will be expanding on the major, the minors, the sevenths, the dominant sevenths that is, and the major and the minor sevenths that we've all covered. We've covered 5 varieties of chords, and I'm going to bring that all together with those scales, so you can really start to see how the chords work with each other, and how those scales work, and the arpeggios with each of those chords. So there's a lot to come together in the last week, and I'm very excited. So I hope you've been following along okay. I hope I'm not moving too fast. There's always the opportunity to ask me for questions if you need any assistance as well. So now we'll move to the arpeggio exercise, which is just a simple G minor 7 arpeggio, and it is as follows. Okay, so we're starting on the open G, going to the 3rd fret. I'd probably advise us to use our 3rd finger there, unlike what I just did. So we open G, and we go to the 3rd fret of the G string with our 3rd finger. Then we go underneath it with our 3rd finger as well on the 3rd fret of the D string, and then the 1st fret of the E string with our 1st finger. So, okay, and this is a little bit different to another arpeggio we did, where we're using our 1st finger, using our 4th finger. Alright, but now we're going to be using our 3rd because it's an open. Okay, so likewise with that other exercise where I just suggested you're having trouble moving the one finger between the two, just practice that. Practice moving between those two. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. That'll come with practice. Okay, and if you've got that quite quickly and you want to experiment a little bit more with it, there's a lot to do with it, and I can show you plenty of variety in terms of making arpeggios a little bit more musical and exciting to practice. But for the time being, just practice going up and down. Okay, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks.